Take two, shall we?
Yeah.
This is fine. All right. Welcome to Underqualified and Over It. I'm your host, Cindy, and joining me as always is Alice. You have to say hi so they know you're real.
I,
I'm not
sorry.
talking to the voices in my head. In this In this podcast, we are over-opinionated and unfortunately allowed to talk. So sit back, lower your expectations, and let's get into it. Can you tell we just started? I feel like we've spent so long preparing for this. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. If it's not perfect,
Yeah.
I don't care. I feel like because this is our first podcast episode, we should probably
Yeah.
introduce ourselves. I guess.
Yeah.
That's probably a good idea. You go because
Might
I
be a
want to
good
drink
idea.
some coffee, even though it's
Okay.
midnight.
So, hi, I'm Alice. I've been a
Bro,
long
chill
time-
out. You're talking to me.
Yeah, I know, but
Hi.
there are people listening too. Hello.
The three people listening to this podcast literally are cringing.
Don't get. Yeah. So yeah, hi, I'm Alice. I'm a absolute widow that enjoys the internet and spooky things.
Did you say you're a widow?
A weirdo, not a
Oh,
widow.
weird.
you idiot.
I think we're having a little bit of language barrier happening there.
Yeah,
That's
the English-American language barrier.
Yeah, it's more real than people think.
It really is, yeah.
All right, well, I'm Cindy, as formerly stated. So, I'm American, but I live in the UK now. The more that we talk about ourselves, the more I'm like, no, I don't like this.
Maybe not.
So what have you been up to lately?
I've been working towards starting my own video game company.
What'd you work on today?
I worked on nothing today.
Oh yeah, making a lot of headway. Actually, to be fair, you really are making a lot of headway.
Yeah.
You've made a fuck ton of headway in just the past week. So
I mean, the past 3 months have been a lot of headway. I mean, I wrote the entirety of the documentation for the business in, 2 months? A month? If
something
that.
like that, yeah.
And then got everybody together in, the space of, a couple of weeks. And then I've been working on the programming side of things now. And I've done a pretty decent amount in a week.
Well, I mean, and considering the fact that you actually don't have a degree in any of that, it's pretty impressive. I mean, I feel like if I was to start something, it would be something that I have at least a little bit of knowledge about. And meanwhile, you're just over here like, I'm just going to do all of these new things all at once, all together. And I'm just going to use my ADHD to hyperfixate on them until they become something tangible.
Honestly, it's the ADHD and the autism, I think, that has just gone absolutely mental with it. It's just gone, yeah, you know what? I'm going to take the reins now. Let's have fun with this. Because it all kind of started with I'd had enough of working in industries that were so taxing on people that were neurodivergent. So I worked in retail and hospitality.
Yeah.
So, and it was terrible. People would really, really be like, oh, do you know what? You're important to the company now because you do all of the jobs. Because I was bored. So I made things for myself to do in those job roles.
And you
then...
surely got pay rises and stuff for wearing all those 17 hats or whatever. Right?
Nope. Nope.
Oh, yeah.
That's not the way that it works, unfortunately. When you become important, you do not become
Yeah, yeah, the importance to like the pay scale does not actually match
Nah,
in modern day, I've noticed.
it really
Uh,
doesn't. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go do something that I actually genuinely enjoy. And so I did actually do a course online for making video games, which was poop.
it was poop.
It was poop. So basically, we were just watching videos on YouTube, and I'm sat there going, could do this in my own time. So I did.
Nice.
And then I thought, okay, cool. I've done all of this. Now I'm going to actually look into how I get into the industry properly and look for jobs within the industry with these skills. And I was looking, and it was like, oh, yeah, by the way, you need 5 years' experience with this program, or you need such and such a experience with that program. And I'm like, well, I don't have that. I've only been doing this for like 6 months. Great. Or it was, oh yeah, by the way, you need a degree in video game design. I was like,
Yeah.
that's not happening. I
Yeah.
already went to university to do drama and wasted my money doing that. So,
I'm gonna. Well, you guys don't pay for. Wait, you do down there, don't you? I'm
yeah,
sorry.
we have
I don't know
to.
who pays what in the UK because sometimes I hear that the education is free and sometimes I hear that it's not.
Where was I?
So this is a problem with having ADHD and having to take a pause in the recording because so we just had to stop to figure out some audio issues and now neither of us can remember what we were talking about.
Oh,
Uh,
I was talking about the education system of the country that we live
oh
in.
yeah. So
Yes.
like
So,
you get to go to college for free, but sometimes
yes.
no.
Okay, so what we have is so we have primary school, secondary school, college, then university. So up to college, that's all free. Fantastic, lovely. Then at university, you have to apply for student finance. And student finance means the government will pay you for you to go to university, and you will also get like government grants as well, or like your funding to get housing and stuff like that, and pay for your food while you're there and stuff, such and such, whatever. But you have to pay that back when
Okay.
you finish university, up to a
So
certain
it's
point.
student loans basically.
Yeah, student loans. Yeah, you
Okay.
get student loans. So, yeah. So, and you only get 3 years worth of student loans available to you because most university courses are 3 years long. Undergraduate courses are usually 3 years long. I only did 2 years of my undergraduate course. So technically, if there was a 1 year undergraduate course that was video game design, I could do that, but still have to pay back more money.
Right.
And I can't be bothered with that. And also, it's the fact of choosing a university to go to, and then I'd have to travel to that university unless I did open university, which is mostly online.
We should have an entire episode about this because I have so many questions. But actually, I think I'm just going to force us to move on.
Yeah.
Because I
Okay.
could sit here for literally like 3 hours asking questions.
Well, why don't we just make this the subject of next week's
We could do that. Hold on. I'll write that
podcast?
down
And
so
we
I
will
don't actually forget it.
continue on this matter next week. Because I think we should. I think it's getting to the time that we should actually get to the subject that we wanted to start on today.
Okay.
Because that's another problem of having ADHD.
I know. I hope that people don't come into this podcast hoping that we have any sort of direction or useful knowledge for them. Because in reality, we just have the fucking years that we walked the earth and loud mouths. And that's pretty much it.
and
So,
and both of us have pretty much walked this earth for 30 of those years. So
all right.
you know.
You don't have to fucking do that, dude.
Hey,
But
I'm
that's fine.
31. So I've walked this earth one more year.
I'm
longer
29
than you.
for the 5th time. It's okay. All right. We both went to see Iron Lung today. And first, before we get to talking about the movie, Did you watch the Edge of Sleep that Markiplier did?
Yes, I did, and I thought it was fantastic.
Okay.
But so bearing in mind that I had listened to the was it a podcast originally? Like an audio drama?
Oh,
I'd class it as more of an audio drama.
Yeah. I know
is what
you're
it
talking about.
was.
So did I.
Yes. So I had actually listened to that previous to watching, and I was like, oh yeah, this is really good. And I was like, oh, they've changed that, but I'm not mad,
Right.
kind of things. And being as it was their first try at the acting on that sort of level, it was really good for somebody just starting out doing that. And I understand, like, Markiplier and some of the other guys that were involved in that have all done like skits for YouTube and stuff like that. But YouTube is a very different stage
Yeah.
to television or film.
Yeah.
And being as, like I said earlier, which actually blends very much nicely into this subject, I went to university to do drama. And I've done drama since I was like 5 years old. And most of that was theatrical drama. We did some getting ready to be on screen kind of drama,
Okay.
but not much. It was mostly on like a stage. And that, again, is another completely different medium because you don't have the cameras on you, so you have to overly express stuff. A lot of time on YouTube, people will overly express things because they don't realize that, yes, the camera that they have on them, most of the time, it's like us with webcams and stuff like that. It's not a big camera pointing in their face. And when they get to having a big camera pointing in their face, most of them go, oh,
like deer in the headlights. Or what's her name from Has Been Hotel? What's her name?
Nifty.
Yes.
It's a very nifty moment, and I love the fact that they had that there. It was like, oh my god, there's a camera. No, it's not a camera. It's a big cockroach. Okay.
So, okay, are you like a big fan of Markiplier's?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have been a big fan of Markiplier since basically, I think, very early on in his YouTube days.
Right.
I've been through pretty much everything. And I was an Unis Arnis girly.
Oh my god, me too. Okay.
I was an Unis Arnis girly. And
I loved Unis Arnis so much, but I actually really favored when Ethan was like kind of the center of attention because it's just so chaotic and I love it. Yeah. He's what I would call chaotic good. But I think my favorite Unis Honest video was the one that they did where they were building the doghouse because it was so much like Markiplier was talking to him as if he was like a child. And it was like a dad trying to teach his son literally anything about woodwork.
What was really funny is the fact that the vast majority of Unis Arnis was that. And I think I watched a interview with Mark recently because he was, I'm sure it was Unis Arnis that he was talking about. He was working on Space at the same time as Unis Arnis.
Oh, yeah.
And,
okay.
He got in trouble.
With Space?
Because the big wigs at YouTube wanted him to work on Space.
Right.
But he was like, no, hang on. I am still working on Space. It's just I've got this other idea that I want to get out, and it's an art piece. And Unis Arnis was an art piece because it was the whole idea behind it was it was fast media.
Yeah.
Was Unis Arnis, and it was media that's going to be there, but then it's going to be gone. Because once they'd finished Unis Arnis, they got rid of it. Yes, you can still find it out there on the internet because people scrubbed it.
Yeah, but not the way that it was experiencing
but it was meant to be experienced as that fast-paced media that was going to disappear.
I'm not going to lie. So obviously, like going into Unis Arnis, like you knew about the end was going to be there and everything was going to happen. There were parts of me being the little internet gremlin that I was, that wanted to go back and record certain videos just for my own. I was never going to post them anywhere, but I chose not to do that because it was against everything that Unus Annus like stood for. But I remember I was so into it. I was watching the videos every single day. Like, this was when I was going to university before I dropped out. I remember I just got out of like a math test or something like that. And I went to the bathroom and I was watching the video on my phone while I was on the toilet. Just like,
on the toilet,
yeah, just like vibing out. Because it was like the only place that only time that I had to actually watch it. This was during my streaming days. And the finale, I didn't actually get to watch the whole 24-hour finale because it happened during my first charity stream.
Oh no!
Yeah, so I was doing a charity stream and I was able to pull it up right as they were about to delete it, and I got to see it get taken offline.
Oh,
and I was bawling
sucks.
my eyes out because I was so emotionally invested in the project. But yeah, I do enjoy that you can still find clips of it because it brings back the nostalgia.
Yeah.
And I like the anniversary videos that they post on their channels and everything. So I also have been a very big Markiplier fan for a very long time. He's actually what kind of convinced me with all of his charity work that he does. He's the reason why I wanted to get into doing videos and streams and things like that. I fell out of it for a while and now I'm kind of getting back into it. But he's just been such a consistent person in those circles for so long. And I love his mind because he keeps his friendships close to the chest. He keeps, he has a very small circle of people around him, and he's just been so wildly successful with that. And in a lot of ways, I really, really look up to him. Moving on to Edge of Sleep, I think he did okay. I think you could tell he was not professionally trained. Now, don't get me wrong, I did binge watch the whole thing.
So did I.
Because I think I watched it all in one night because I literally could not sleep until I finished it. That being said, I think in Edge of Sleep, his acting was a bit stiff.
Yeah.
However, that was one of the things that going into watching Iron Lung that I was looking for was like stiff acting and like what pieces didn't really match up and things like that. So how did you feel going into? I felt like I was the most excited person in that room because I was like bouncing with excitement because, mind you, I have been waiting for this movie longer than I've been with my husband. So even before we started dating, I have been waiting.
Yeah, because how long have we been waiting for Iron Lung now?
It's definitely been over 2 years. For sure.
Right, okay, so it's fine. I was just thinking it's probably longer than I've been with mine, but I've been with mine for nearly 12 years now. No, it's not.
No, but I mean, I've watched him develop this idea from when he played the game. So I've been listening and hearing updates via his podcast, or his Bob's and Wade's podcast, Distractable.
Right. Okay. So I went into this completely blind, because I had no idea. I hadn't actually watched him play Iron Lung. I hadn't watched anybody play Iron Lung. I haven't myself played Iron Lung, so I didn't know what was going to happen.
Dude, that is amazing. I love that for you, actually, so much.
Also, my other half, who I went to the cinema with, isn't the biggest Markiplier fan. He's like, he knows who he is, blah, blah, blah. He's like, meh, I wasn't really that fussed, but it's nice to go out, kind of thing. So he came with me, and he enjoyed it, but he didn't know what was going on. He's like, halfway through, he's like,
what the fuck?
No idea what's going on. what is happening right now? I was also like, huh? Excuse me? What? So basically, I feel like I got whiplash from this film. I came out of the cinema going, in a good way though, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like, not a, what the fuck was that, but a, what? That was really cool, but some of it I didn't understand. It now makes me want to, number one, go back to Mark's channel and go and watch him play the game.
Yeah.
And number two, go and experience the game for myself.
That's exactly what I was telling Kenny. Because that was one of Kenny's like complaints. He also, at the end of the film, was like, I don't really know what was happening with this and what was happening with that. I don't understand. And he's like, but don't get me wrong. I'm not upset that it was ambiguous because I think it was really well done. And it also opens the door. And I told, he was like, it opens the door for them to maybe make a prequel or like do some more exposition on the lore behind everything, even doing like a secondary film. And I was like, well, and it also encourages people to go and buy and play the game and explore the game for themselves. It was really impressive with the set that they used and things like that. It felt to me less of a horror movie, more of a like sci-fi thriller. I guess it technically would still constitute as a horror film, but it felt very like Sigourney Weaver and Aliens.
Yes, it really did. Because I was like, what is actually, like, while I was sat there, I was like, oh, okay, so this is going on. And then I was like, hang on a second. What do you mean this? And then because of my, because of the autism and the ADHD, I have the absolute superpower of pattern recognition. And when certain things was happening, I was like, that was foreshadowing.
So what was one of those things that you noticed that you were like, that really stood out to you?
So one of them was, so it's gonna be, this podcast is probably gonna end up being like, we have to put a warning for spoilers anyway.
Oh yeah. Don't listen to this if you haven't seen it.
Because up till now, there haven't been any spoilers. From now on, there will be tons.
Yes.
Honestly. So when he opens all of the manuals and it has, what was it, SM something, like the letters and then the 8 and then the 8's crossed out and then it puts 13. And it was just like, you're the first one down here. You're the first one we sent down. That's a lie.
Oh, yeah.
That's a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
And then when he opened up the bit on the computer, I was like, huh? Because I don't know whether I blinked and I missed it, kind of thing, that there was something up to that. Because I know that he like kind of shadowy thing went into that corner and then he went to investigate.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, because I saw that straight away, I was like, what the fuck was that?
I think there definitely was a lot more questions unanswered than answered.
Yeah. I really like, if they decide to either, the possibilities are endless with what they could do. Like they could come up with a book with the pre stuff.
Oh yeah, like the prequel.
Yeah, if they came out with a prequel book that explained how Simon actually ended up having the situation that he was in,
I think that
really
a prequel, either a book or a movie doing the prequel leading up to, because the station that he was the butcher of, like we get almost like the movie's almost over by the time his nickname the Butcher is like divulged, and it's like, where the fuck did that come from?
Also, what the hell is that? what the hell was going on with the light thing. And then when he went to those coordinates that the lady in the speaker was giving it, oh, come to us, well, blah, 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 blah. And then he goes to it, and then there was all of that bullshit. I was like, what? What is going on?
What do you mean?
Was that, like, because he went to the coordinates, and then suddenly he was, like, awake in blood, and then there was, like, all of the blood stuff happening.
Okay, I feel like you need to be a little bit more descriptive because there's a lot of blood stuff in the movie. It did break the record.
Amount of blood stuff, guys. The first amount. So when he like he sits up in the blood and he's like not
yeah.
like not under the water.
Yeah, where he like raises up and he sees the thing
because he sees the light.
But it looked like an eyeball to me.
It did, but also when he was down in the caves as well, when he scanned over the thing that he put as alien, that looked like either an eyeball or a cat's anus. I'm gonna be honest.
My fancy butthole.
Because my other half just like leant over to me and went, "Oh, looks like a cat's butthole." I was like, kind of does, but kind of looks like an eyeball as well.
I did that to Kenny. I leaned over to him and said, "Look at my fancy butthole."
I love the fact that we have coinciding things that we experience there. I really, really liked the fact that the creatures down there looked like massive walruses. Honestly, that was probably one of my favorite bits.
Yeah, I liked the fact that you see that, but then after he does the radiation on the people, you realize those are just the bones of whatever you're seeing.
Yeah.
And so I actually think what I'm going to do is call my mom and I'm going to tell her to watch this movie because I think she was a huge fan of Alien. She is very much a classic sci-fi style person. She doesn't like scary things, but I think if I can explain the context of it to her, then I think she actually will genuinely enjoy this. And I kind of want to see what she says and like have her write it down and like text it to me so I could read it, or like have her like call her during like an update or whatever. Do you think that Iron Lung is gonna win any awards?
I hope it does.
I hope so too. I feel like it could win like Indie Movie of the Year or something.
Yeah, number one for the sheer fact that he ended up in hospital for it.
Bro, when does Markiplier not end up in the hospital? I feel like...
I mean, true. So when that whole thing came out, and he was just like, oh yeah, I'm in hospital, and we were all like, oh my god, what happened? And then he was like, oh yeah, this is what happens when you use a lot of blood in the film that you're making. I completely forgot about that until, you know, when the porthole cracked and the blood splattered across his face. I went, oh no, yeah, I remember now. He was in hospital because of blood in the eyes. And then the blood got worse.
It did.
The blood got exponentially
so
worse.
But I've never related to a character more than looking down in the crawl space and being like, oh, fuck that.
Also, another thing is there were so many Markisms in there. Mm-hmm. So when he's talking to the speaker and he kind of looks up and he's like, the fuck?
Yeah. Oh. I don't know if this was intentional or not. I'm sure it probably was. But Markiplier is notorious for not doing tutorials in video games. And the scene where he says, I swear to God, if I have to go up there and read another fucking manual, I was like, that is hilarious.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It was so funny. So funny. I was like, there was so many of those little moments that I was like, this is just Markiplier playing the game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it was great to see. I don't know whether it was intentional or not. And if it wasn't intentional, fantastic. But if it was intentional, still fantastic, because you've still put his isms into the thing.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think one of the things that really confused me is like basically the general what the fuck is happening here, because obviously, like, yes, there are blood moons that have been popping up. Yes, he was a part of a station getting destroyed, one of the last stations, and to me it looked like a greenhouse station from the brief moment that we see it. Plus you take that in line with the tree thing, so I think that the station that he was on was like one of the last like greenhouse stations that got destroyed. But I don't understand what the general point of like the whole message of the movie is, I guess. Like,
the thing is, when he picked up he got back down there and picked up the black box information, I really, really listened to that voice audio. Like, I literally closed my eyes and was listening to what was happening within that voice audio, because number one, I realised that it was the same lady that he was having the fever dream over before the whole blood saga started. And I was like, hang on a second, fucking Leonardo DiCaprio on the sofa. That's the same woman. That's the same woman. And they were sent down there with... There was more of them in their pod, because you could hear somebody in the background. I don't know that there was like 2 or 3 of them, but they were sent down there for a specific reason, and their reasoning for going down there was synthesizing the blood into food.
That's a good idea, because the oxygen went up.
Yeah, but I think that was part of his fever dream.
No,
I think that was his lack of oxygen.
No, it wasn't. Because when he comes back from his fever dream, it's still at 2.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. See, I have a fixate on other things.
So, yeah. And what I think was, and also another thing that the lady said in the voice audio was, when we synthesized the blood after we'd made it into food, we found out that it's us. It's human blood.
Right.
We don't think we should be synthesizing this
so
to make
they're
into
trying
food.
to use the blood to synthesize into things to help humanity survive.
Yeah.
However,
However,
they're I wonder, okay, so the way that the blood kind of took over him, right? It seems to me almost like a hive mind thing. I'm wondering if the creature that he saw that went, whenever he went and found the note that says cross the wires, I wonder if that creature is the lady that he had the fever dream.
That's what I was just about to say. So, the lady in the original pod, number 8, I think what's happened there is they're synthesizing the blood, but obviously there's something wrong with the blood, because number 1, it's human, but also number 2, it's covering a friggin' planet, and it does weird things. So what I think is, obviously they're eating the food in their pod that they've synthesized. There wasn't just one creature, by the way, there was 2.
Yeah.
That I noticed. There was 2 creatures. And I'm not talking about the one that was skeletalized and he was taking the sample off of. There was another one. So there was probably 3 people in that pod, let's say. One of those creatures died. So these 3 people have been taken over by what took him over in the end. But because they'd already ingested the blood, they got turned into those creatures. 2 of them remain and 1 of them died.
Interesting.
Maybe. And they also, the 2 that remained, mostly stayed near the pod.
I wish, so one of the things about being here in the UK is it's not in as many theaters.
Yeah.
So I know that yours is just down the road from you, which is so lucky, but it takes me about, because I don't drive here, don't have my license yet, don't ask. It takes me about a 15 to 20 minute car ride to get there. So I have to get like a taxi to get there. if I were in the US, I would probably go see this movie about 4 or 5 times. Just to try and figure it the fuck out.
Wasn't it only available today?
I don't know. I think it becomes available today, but I don't know if it's just happening today. I don't know how that works. I'm pretty sure it's just only in theaters starting from January 30th.
Okay, let me just check for over here, definitely. Because I think it was only just today. Oh no, apparently they're screening it on Sunday as well.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things that it's...
Oh no,
only in theaters from...
due to the fact that it is midnight on a Saturday, it's on today as well. So it's just this weekend, I think, that they're showing it. And apparently, I got really, really lucky because actually, the only Odeon that showed it was my cinema.
Very nice. Well, what I was going to say is there are so many pieces of this movie that I want to go back and rewatch it just to, like, because when does the fever dream start? Is it after? Because I think it's after the blood drips onto his hand, right? Is when it starts. That starts the whole thing. I think that the blood got into his system and he started becoming part of the hive mind.
Oh.
And that's why he was seeing the person.
Yeah, so my instant reaction actually when I walked out of the cinema was, I need to watch this again.
Oh, me too.
There was so much stuff that I missed that I was thinking, I need to watch that again. Because quite a lot of the time, if it's a film like this that has literally got my brain cogs going. So there's stuff like, there's films like The Cube, for instance. That one had my brain cogs going and I had to watch that a few times. There was, I think there was like The Circle or something.
Okay.
Was another one that got my brain cogs going. Oh, there's a lot of Death Games ones.
One of the ones that got my brain, one of the ones that got my brain going was Midsummer.
Yes! Oh my god, I love that film.
I love that movie. So
much. I had to watch that 3 times to understand it properly. And then it finally all clicked into my brain because I'd watched it 3 times because I was looking for different things. And then I was like, oh my god, yes, I now understand what's going on.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I want to do with this movie.
Yeah.
Is watch it over and over and over again. I think there's definitely pieces of it that could have been done better. Like the scene that you were talking about where he kind of like comes up out of the blood and all of that. I think the CGI was a little Hobbit for me. You know, it was a little, it didn't strike fear into my heart as much as it made me kind of go,
My brain was like, Babes, can you move your hair out of your face, darling? Because it's all over your face. And I can't see your beautiful face. I mean, I'm fine with your face being covered with blood, but I would like to see more of your face.
But can you do one of...
This is why I have paid the money.
Get it out. Yeah, no, I get that. It was one of those things that is more of a... I think that's just our brains kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like having something in my face like that would be like, get it out of my face.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've got maybe a few minutes left here. So what are your kind of like final thoughts? What do you think?
I need to watch it again.
That's it. That's your only thoughts. I need to watch it again.
Number 1, I need to watch it again. Number 2, I need to get my hands on a copy of Iron Lung, the game. And number 3, I need to go back and watch Mark play it once I've actually played the game myself. Because I need to experience all of the media that this game is on.
Oh my god. You should do that, and then you should like post a video about it, and then we can be like, hey, just in case you're wondering, this is where she's going to be playing it at. So I think, honestly, I really want... Yes, I want to watch it again, but I also would love if Mark would put out like behind the scenes stuff. Like, I want a physical copy of this.
Yeah, I want a physical copy too.
Yeah.
So physical copy with behind the scenes is what I want. And also I want some more merch.
I want merch. I want a director's cut.
While I was in line to get my my drink at the cinema, I looked up some merch and there's only like a couple of t-shirts. But I think what I'm going to do is I might even commission somebody to make the popcorn bucket for me.
Oh yeah.
Because the guy that designed it has put it out on 3D printing websites for free for everybody to get hold of, which
That's
I think
actually
is
really cool.
genuinely brilliant.
Let me know if you find somebody who is going to do that, because I would also do that.
Yeah, I will do.
One of the other things that I wanted to bring up before we come to the end of this is that Mark is also doing a blood drive as part of promotion for the movie, but also because there is a blood shortage. So if you go to ironlung.com/blood, he's trying to break the world record for donations, but I think it's only in the US, unfortunately. But you can go to any blood bank and you can tell them that you're part of the Iron Lung campaign. Or if you go to, like I said, ironlung.com/blood, there are locations of people who are participating where you can show up and find the bus, and they'll give you cookies and they'll do the whole thing. They'll take your blood in. So if you feel so inclined, if you're able to, please go and do that. But I actually really hope they break the world record for the donation.
Yes, so
this
do
is
I.
Little American in me going like, you guys can do it. This is America. You can do
it.
anything.
And honestly, I feel like we could have spent even more time talking about everything that happened within the film and our opinions on the film. But we just don't have enough time, unfortunately.
Honestly, I feel like there was so much that happened that it was hard for me to retain anything. Because, like, I'm thinking of bits and pieces that I can remember, but overall, it's just like, I can't not watch it again. Like, I need to watch it again to be, like, you think you go into it being like, oh, I'll buy one ticket and then I'll see it and then I've seen it in theaters. No, you need to see it like 3 or 4 times to probably piece things together, because there's just so much thrown at you that you have to, like, go through it with a fine-tooth comb to actually understand everything. And that's honestly what I love about it. Because it's like when you have a game that has replayability, this movie has rewatchability.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It'll be one of those things that you watch it and then you're like, I need to see that again. And there were times where I was like, I wish I had a remote so I could watch that part again, because I didn't see everything.
Yeah. What's really funny is what you've just said about games having replayability. While we were saying how we wanted to watch it again, I had exactly the same thought. So we shared the brain cell yet again on that
The brain cell bounced from me to you and you to me.
Yeah.
It's really tough sharing sometimes. But
it is.
All right. Well, I think that pretty much covers this episode. I hopefully here in the next few episodes that we're recording, we will have an update from my mom, having had her go see it. If she actually listens to me and goes to see it. If she doesn't walk out of the theater, because the blood might be a bit much for her. She's a good Christian lady, so it might be a bit much. But other than that, this has been Underqualified and Over It.
If you've made it this far, that's on you.
Catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Go, go, go.